Hi guys! I want to talk to you about close reading. Have you ever come across the term before? Close reading is something that is very important when you study literature because it's when you read a text closely. So why is this important? Let me give you examples. A year ago, I was talking to my cousin, who's also a college freshman like you guys. She told me that she was confused about something she'd read, so I asked her why. When we looked at the text together, I pointed out lines that explained what she was confused about. When I asked why she hadn't seen that, she told me that she usually just skims what she reads. And I was appalled. Second example, I gave an assignment to my students just last quarter asking for an element of narrative. Quite a few of them came back to me asking how many elements they should give. I patiently answered one, but I wanted to ask them and say, please close read the instructions. What does the word "and" pertain to? When you put the word "and" before a word, it specifies just one. This wouldn't have been a problem if they had close read the instructions. So, yes, in life, close reading is important, but in literature, it's a matter of academic survival. So, that's why I'm making this video. So, let me give you the steps to close reading. Number one, read the text carefully. Do not skim. Pay attention to each word, even something as seemingly insignificant as the word "an." It makes a difference, trust me. Number two, read it again. I know you'd rather watch something or you'd rather do your homework, but stay with me here. When you read a text once, you get the general gist. But when you read it again, something else will reveal itself to you. Number three, ask questions as you read. Questions like, could this word mean something else? Or is there a pattern I should pay attention to? Is this, let's say, hair tie that keeps coming out a symbol of something? Are there connotations attached to these words? Number four, read for meaning. Yes, these are all a whole bunch of words mixed together or shoved together, but what are they saying? What does it mean? What does the text mean in light of life as you know it? Why does it matter? Because it does. Number five, find evidence in the text. This was something actually my students who had gone through this course already were so good at. They knew how to quote, they knew how to cite instances in the text to support their answers, and you will be good at this too. You will need to do this when I ask you questions and when you write your papers. So, annotating and maybe even physically writing down your thoughts will help you do this in the near future. And, so also you don't forget, because you might forget after reading. So, let's try it. Read the short story with me. Don't worry, it's flash fiction. It's really short. What is to Come by L. Bose. It was a few days after the national election, and we were about to board a plane. My husband tells me to wait with the children. He gets our boarding passes. We huddle with our bags. My eldest is 6 years old and wants to drink a Diet Coke, like Papa. We have run around like headless chickens, we have sung, and we have danced. In 3 weeks, the newspapers will give a list of the congressional winners. My husband's name is on it. We throw a party to celebrate. He gives his woman a diamond ring. I keep silent around him, and the staff collect newspaper clippings. When my son asks for a drink, I give him nothing but water. Let's close read this text. Number one, why does she refer to her child as my eldest? She could refer to him as our eldest. Does that mean anything? Does it imply anything to you? Now, why is the drink of choice of her husband a Diet Coke? Why isn't it a regular Coke? What does a Diet Coke imply anyway? Are there any connotations attached to it? Something to explore. And in line with that, why do you think the speaker refuses to give her son nothing but water? She could just say, I gave him water because he was thirsty. But it has to be nothing but water. And why those words? What does it mean? So much meaning comes with those three words. And then what is implied when she says, he gives his woman a ring? Why not he gives me a ring? Or he gives his wife a ring? Again, what is she saying? In with those 6 words. And then even the word newspapers. I mean, people don't really read newspapers so much nowadays. It's almost online, everything. So, what does that tell you about the time it was written? What does that imply as well? And then, what about the word tell? My husband tells me to wait. He could have asked her, or she could have said it in another way. So, these are just examples of what else you can look at as you analyze the text closely. Notice how much more meaning a text has once you look at it this way. When you speed read through it, it's just a woman saying her husband has won the national election, and that's it. But when you do a close reading, so much more comes out. You're like a detective with a magnifying glass, looking closer at the text for clues that will eventually reveal the meaning of a work of literature. And isn't that one of the most exciting things in the world? I know it is to me.